All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for your mind. Often imitated, but never duplicated. It's the Gathering of Old Men Podcast. Myself, TT and Mello, talking to this week's event. Oh. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Gathering of Old Men Podcast. Myself, TP, Lord Jamal. I'm gonna start with the light stuff first. I'm gonna start with the light stuff first because we're gonna start with the light stuff first. First off, I would like to apologize to the WNBA. We have not covered it like we should, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But Jamal reminded me that there is a WNBA season going on. Caitlin Clark being injured. We not them people from the cornfields. We're not them people from the cornfields. Just because one player is not playing does not mean we ignore the WNBA. So that's on me because all this other stuff was going on. So again, for the WNBA fans, my apologies. Before I get to anything related, I got to talk about this video that Florida State basketball put out. I'm a little I wasn't sure before, but now I'm concerned. I'm concerned, right? And the only reason I'm concerned is I get on here and I pretend I don't know ball, right? And this is not an indictment on the player's skill or whatever. It is the content that was chosen to be put out. Y'all scaring me. I am concerned. I saw the video. It's not necessarily the players. It is who okayed this video to go out. I know they can't practice. We don't need Red League. Let's show them doing community service, other stuff, not the pickup games. Not the pickup games. You following a legend. Let's ramp up slowly. And yes, the dunk at the end, yay, we dunk. But it's Florida State. It's dudes in the red dunking. That ain't the fraternity intramural players dunk at the red. Let's ramp up slow, get the good stuff.
What does that have to do with anything, though?
But
they say you got the great value.
About this TP. I'm trying to.
He said, TP. He said you got the great value, Rick Pitino.
The problem is I see both sides of the streets and I see what both sides of the street is doing. So both sides of Game Streets are bringing in players. One side of Game Street looking like they're trying to compete in the ACC. The other side of Game Street actually look like they're trying to compete in the CIAA.
Bro, that's cold.
They don't look like they're trying to compete against the North Carolinas. They don't look like they're trying to compete. And I'm not, listen, I know I drag Florida State when they wrong. This is not a drag. This is just a comment about the content that was put out. One is pushing Tyler Ward's Men's Foundation weekend. The other is pushing the pickup game, essentially. And that pickup game is a problem for me. I don't need to see that. We heading in the football season. The baseball team, and we'll talk about that in a second. The baseball team just lost in the Super Regionals to Bucky Beaver. So we need some good news. We don't need nothing that's going to scare us. We're going to be scared when we play Alabama. No more Freddy Krueger videos. I need happy thoughts to kick off. That's all I need. Happy thoughts.
Speaking of football, who the fuck picked the 3:00 kickoff in Tallahassee?
It sounds hot.
For which game?
Hot as hell.
For which game?
It's 2 3:00 games. I'm pissed off already.
I'll say this, and I'm saying this respectfully. I might not notice that it's hot.
But shit, you gonna end up in TMH with the rest of everybody else. You might not notice it's hot. Okay, Hennessy know when it's hot.
I hydrate. Well, so Dr. Kanisha said that putting water in gin is not hydrating.
That is not hydrating. That is not hydrating.
No, that's not.
It's not quenching your thirst.
So I got a plan.
Somebody's emergency room.
That's what I'm saying. He gonna be looking up at them bright lights at TMAs, bro.
Why
No. It ain't gonna be TMAs. It ain't gonna be TMAs because he got insurance. He gonna be on the other side at ACA.
Yeah, because I can't go to TMH because my older kid's mom worked though. I can't go to TMH because that's all I need. All I need is to wake up and she be talking about, see, you don't learn nothing. I don't need that.
Is that the one from the commercial?
No.
Ask mom.
No, Ask Mom is from the commercial. No. The one in Tallahassee, we never gonna call her on a live podcast ever. I ain't crazy. But amazingly enough, her and my wife, buddy, just weird. But there's that. And then last week, we addressed the Florida A&M AD situation. And I was very balanced, voiced my concerns about where the transactions were. Only to find out that we created a national controversy over $1,300 that was being paid back at the time of her getting the Florida A&M job. So just so we keep everybody aware, she made transgressions at Florida Sports Foundation. She was paying back those transgressions. She then gets the job at Florida A&M. She just switched agencies. She didn't go to private sector. She just switched agencies because that's all the university is to the state as an agency. She switched agencies. So I'm sure she was still paying that back at FAMU, which is why there was not the outrage from the board. I knew when St. Pete curved me like ain't nothing to see here, I should have known it was something up. Should have known. But again, I'm just thinking like a normal person. The university didn't immediately move to fire her. The Facebook alumni wasn't upset. Somebody knew something that we didn't. She was paying that money back the whole time. And I'm positive, like we alluded to on the show, because there were employees that were at the Florida Sports Foundation, came over to FAMU Board of Trustees as employees, in particular the general counsel. So somebody knew something. This was not a shot in the dark.
I mean, you also got to add that they wrote her a letter of recommendation to get the job at FAMU. So.
All of this transpired.
Of course they did.
Before.
Nah, TP, she was still working there while paying it back. That's what we saying.
No, I get that. I get that part.
But that's the what? Wait, what? Okay, because when you file something like that, for me, it's like, okay, she was under investigation. Maybe she heard she was under investigation and ran, and now the investigation complete. So they're like, all right, bow, there you go. We got
But
you.
my question is, if she was already paying funds back, was that part of a settlement? Was that the conclusion of the investigation? Because the school had to know that wasn't the end all be all when they signed that letter of recommendation to send her away. They took what they can get from her, but they already knew that she was still in trouble.
Everybody knew that she was. It is my belief. Everybody not only already knew she was in trouble, it was known that she was in trouble and she was paying it back.
Right. But the school would have had to know that wasn't the end of it. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So somebody has to. I mean, basically, it's a pushed agenda. We want this woman in as our AD. She should have been our AD from the get go. So somebody had to push in and say, "Hey, let's recommend her for the athletic director
No,
position."
I don't think that was the agenda. So I'm on the other end of you can't steal $24,000 from me and still work for me. You got to go jail, hell, both. Not my problem.
But see, that somebody gonna find out. Like, you said that the Florida Sports Foundation is a $1 billion. It's a $1 billion entity, right? Because the sport is tied directly to the state government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some folks will look at $24,000 as it's a $1 billion entity as chump change, but somebody had look what I'm saying. They went into them books and said, "Hey,
let me tell you, hey Doc, let me tell you what happened. Look, I'm gonna break it down for you.
Break it down.
They brought her in the conference room and put some papers on the table. We got you. What are you gonna do? He said, "Well, I can start paying some of this back. Can we work out something to keep this out of the public?" And they said, "Sure, you can go ahead and start paying us back." And while she was paying it back, they was forwarding this information to the investigators while trying to get her out of there without it being a public display.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It wouldn't have been a public display either way, because the number of people that actually know what the Florida Sports Federation is a drop in the bucket. She could have been fired, and everybody would be like, and life would have went on. It didn't have to be a public spectacle of being fired. To me, it came off as a political hit. And Troy hit on a lot of the issues last week with the Hope Foundation, and how Hope Foundation is also tied into losing $10 million, but then the $10 million have popped up collectively in other avenues. They got the alumni, the students, and the DSOs on their ass about 8-ball Marva right now. What a better way to distract us is by throwing our beloved AD under the damn bus so we could not pay attention for a little while.
What if it was more than $24,000 and that's only what's being reported?
Right.
That would have been filed. That's
my original statement. If it was more than $24,000, then she most definitely should have been fired and already been in jail.
And
okay,
that's the
so
other thing.
Here's another question. How much was she paying back? Because this is what, 4 years now? 3 years?
It's 2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
It's 2 years. She's paid all of it back except $1,300,
which they could have took out of her last paycheck when she left. I would have been like, "Hey, I'm taking money out of your check, bitch."
So why? So then why are we here?
Because it's more political to what we're saying.
TP, now you where we are. Why are we here? Why are we at this juncture right now? What is going on?
Because the math ain't mathing when it comes to what's punitive, right? Because is she being charged with the original crime of it happening?
Yes.
Because last time I
Yeah.
checked,
Yeah,
$1,300 wasn't a felony.
Right.
yeah.
Or if it is, it's the lowest grade felony.
$1,300 is a class A misdemeanor in Florida. Everything under
Right.
$5K is a misdemeanor.
Here in
And
here in Texas,
the-
it's anything 500 or more. That's considered a felony for us.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I have personal experience with something that
Oh
was
shit!
about $700.
Oh hell.
Oh
It was
shit!
not a felony.
Yeah.
That's why I was
But
still able to join the Air Force. So yeah, it's not a felony. Under
It's
$1,000.
not a felony. They must have changed it then because I knew $500 more was like a low class felony though.
No,
Yeah.
but if it's 500 12 times, then yeah, that's a felony. If it's 500 one time, then yeah, okay, one time.
Yeah,
But that's why
there's other.
My fault. Go ahead, TP.
No, I'm just saying there's other scenarios that affect how they charge it.
Yep.
But the biggest the question that I have is, why is she being charged with the full amount 2 years later after paying 97% of it back?
they flood the zone. They are
But
not.
that's where we all at.
They flood the zone. That's what it is. That's the playbook. They flood the zone. This is the wildest thing about all of this. It is I'm personally handicapping what's gonna happen. It is 70%. I feel like 70% to 30%. She gonna keep her job.
I don't think we asking the right question. This
No,
is more.
TP, we asking the right question. We might not be asking it out loud, but I already told you the answer to the question that you asking. That was a hit.
What does she know that people don't want her to know or don't want her to put into the public?
Well, the
What
last
does she
thing you
know?
want to do if somebody know where your bodies is buried is try to fucking send them to jail. Cause now I'm telling.
Unless this is a show of force, and then she still keeps her job, and then they like, hey, this is what we can do to you. This is somebody cracking the belt and saying, hey, we got you. We own you. Do not say anything about what we got going on, because we're showing you right now the power.
That goes back to the board. If anything, it could be a show of force because she hadn't said nothing about 8-ball or welcoming her to campus with open arms. She has not said a word. She been doing her job and staying out the way.
So it's like I said, it's more. To me, it's more. It looks like it's more political than anything else because if you paying back that $24,000, all you got is $1,300, and she gets paid by the state. You could have, like you said, said, hey, here go the $1,300. I fully paid my debt back to the foundation. Let me go ahead and live my life and do my job over here at FAMU.
Exactly. They literally. State of Florida employees get paid by the month. They get paid monthly. I used to be one.
Me too.
She started at FAMU. I think it was September 1st. So that means she got a paycheck.
Last year.
Yeah, she got a paycheck 3 days before that. Man, if you don't get these $1,300 and get out my face,
it ain't about the money.
It's more about like what TP saying is that they're using the old Willie Lynch slave mentality thing. Like, yeah, I own you. If you get out of line, quote unquote, get out of line again, I own you. I know what's up with you. We can have you, you know what I'm saying, out of here in no time soon. We'll put you in jail. Like, to me, seriously, it's like you said, just looking at the information now, if she paid 98%
back.
Right, 98% of the money back, then she should be fine. But the other thing is that it's the charge of falsified documents as travel vouchers. That's the other piece. That's the other thing that, you know what I'm saying? What's up with that? because you know, like I said, if you a foundation like that, you're gonna try to cover your tracks with every which way possible. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll figure out, like, hey, what's this right here? Like what is this right here? What is it? What did we see right here?
Doc, you own to something, but I'm gonna tell you why you own to it. Them doing all of this has now made people ask the question, why did it take 2 years for an audit to become public?
That's what I'm saying. Because you know, because if you look at if you the treasurer controller of whoever y'all have it out there, if you look at the books, your first bet is we need to do an internal audit first. If like I said, if the math ain't mathing, then I'm gonna get an outside firm to go ahead and look at the books. Because it's not like it's not like she stole millions of dollars. It's not like she took millions of dollars. It was if it was an honest mistake and she owned up to it. Because she didn't, even in the press conference or the letter that she wrote, she didn't say I didn't do it. She admitted what she did. She admitted her guilt. You know if you did wrong if you turn yourself into the police, and then you out there jump less than maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, but that also turning yourself in also saves face. Turn myself in.
Right. It saves because you know what the truth is. You're the only one. She's the only one that knows what the truth is. So I'm just saying, to me, all of this is that somebody she pissed off some folks over there at the Sports Foundation, and they come back.
I don't think the pissed off is the Sports Foundation. You're right. I believe she truly did piss somebody off, but I don't think the Sports Foundation is the pissed off party.
I think it's somebody that has political ties.
The pissed off party is the FAMU Board of Trustees. That's the pissed off party.
Well, they should be. You know what? We ain't gonna get on the board of trustees.
No, we 100% is gonna get on the board of trustees in the next segment. We definitely are. But that's again, I take accountability for not waiting for all the information to come out, but it was breaking news and we have to talk about it. So we talked about it. Right. Now that we find out the details of it, we gonna tell people the details because now, it don't smell right. The sweet potato pie smell like pumpkin pie. Something is wrong. So
it's in the news. You know, if we see it in the news on that day, we're gonna go out there and report it. Cite who wrote it or who put it out there as far as the TV entity or radio entity, and we just gonna go with what we got. But
I will say this. I'll say this before we move on. I will say this because I was all on social media and all this other stuff, just seeing how people was reacting. Because that was my concern, how fans and alumni would react. It is a TikTok TV account. You use the phrase, use Florida Sports Foundation to fund her lavish lifestyle. Apparently, based on your videos, you be at these events. If I see you, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation about media integrity and journalism.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be very positive and productive about it.
You hope.
And if we ain't positive and productive about it, it's probably because I got that big 18-ounce bottle full of gin and ice.
or you got to my left, you got this crash out that's ready to go out there and beat the brakes off somebody.
We're gonna keep it productive, but if
I
not,
don't feel like that's a fair assessment of my character, but I'll take it.
Oh, he was talking about but again, that was that situation. And then there is this situation with Marva Johnson and her contract.
I want that lady to stay at Spectrum and they horrible service and away from my damn school. You ain't never made $750,000 in your life, but all of a sudden you think you deserve it with zero knowledge about nothing.
So let me say this. If it was only $750,000, I probably wouldn't be mad.
I would.
I understand, but this is why I'm saying I probably wouldn't be mad. If it was only $750,000 and no surprises and no escalators and no performance bonuses and all the extra stuff, I would probably be able to say the foundation can look at what they can work with and offer what they can, right? But see, I'm gonna tell y'all about me. Since I was but a young boy, there's two things in this world that I knew about. Florida A&M and that school in Daytona. And the first thing you know about Florida A&M is the Marching 100. Since I can think about football, I knew there was a marching band to go with it. All marching bands was not equal. I knew that. That's what I knew, right? Now that you got some background. As they are trying to figure out a way to pay this contract, because as Devron said, they have already agreed to the contract and they are responsible for the contract.
Devron can take it out of his savings.
Let me finish. They're only responsible for that contract if she accepts the job. Now, get that out of the way. In the process, they have said, the board has said, well, the foundation has to fund this. Now, in the midst of all of this,
hello, welcome to Walgreens.
Remember, I'm two sides of Gain Street. I'm on both sides of Gain Street. In the process of this, there was a board meeting in which, and I think it may have been a committee of the board, in which I think her last name is Washington, Miss Washington, because I got to be respectful right now, because if I don't, I'm going to be real disrespectful. So I'm going to call her Miss Washington.
Frederick Douglass.
Miss Washington said that if the foundation does not find the funds to pay for this contract, we may need to look at their certification. That was the first shot over the bow about decertification. And I was like, hold on. Whoa. And this is why I break up the other side of the street. Let me tell you some shit that ain't going to happen across the other side of the street. What you ain't going to do is you ain't going to have the Board of Trustees firing 50 cal bullets at the foundation. That ain't ever. Let me take my glasses off so y'all can see what I'm saying. I'll bet money. That ain't ever gonna happen. What you also ain't gonna do is try to elbow the alumni to be like, hey, we need some money. What can y'all do? I know the Florida State alumni ain't gonna go for it, because the Florida State alumni president got pissed off about the AD search and decided he was gonna be AD. That's why I call them ski mags. So we know all of this ain't happening across the street, right? This is the disrespectful part. I apologize. I know Devron, he been on the show. I apologize. Who in their right fucking mind think the University of Florida Board of Trustees is going to allow, the University of Florida Foundation is going to allow the Board of Trustees to bully them into doing shit? Ain't going to happen.
I'm about to say, don't the foundation have their own Board of Trustees?
The foundation has their own board.
So why would the actual school Board of Trustees try to bully the foundation into paying this damn money? To me, this shit sound like this. You're not in the NBA. This is not like, you don't get escalators up in here. What
it also speaks to is how Washington is an outsider, right? She went to Princeton. I think she went to Penn State.
Is her first name Nikki?
Nicole, yeah.
Nicole.
So she's an outsider. So she's I think she feel like she maverick and she the smartest black person in the room because of her proximity to whiteness. That's one. That's her problem. Second thing is, I really don't think she has realized that you do not want it with the board of trustees of Florida A&M Foundation. I don't think you want to start those people. Most people don't even know who the hell they are. Think about that for a second. They are a board that people don't even know who the hell they are. You know they
They
over
like
there,
the mob. They like
but
the
you
mafia.
thank you. And when she said it, I said, "Oh shit."
Hey, Jamal, remember when a previous AD pissed off $1 million booster? What
I
happened?
certainly do.
Oh, by the way, I'll tell y'all what happened. There has been a decline in donations to the foundation. So that rumor that y'all heard last year, yeah, that was true. That was
Yep.
100% true. So when everybody getting on their high horse about certain things, and I don't say nothing, it's because I know too much and I don't want to start mess. But it's appropriate here because we're trying to find money and we got people not donating. The foundation delivered their address and notated that there was a drop in donations. And I looked at when it was finally clear, you can see on the bar chart, the pie chart, not the pie chart, the bar chart that it was like a drop, like a steep cliff between the previous 2 years. So if we know that, okay, maybe we could ask the future president to raise money to help pay for her salary. According to Miss Washington, who
But that's
negotiated the
part of her
contract,
job anyway. That's part of your job as a school president. Fundraising.
and what did that lady say? That was a non-starter.
Man, fuck that lady.
So if part of the function of a president, and I know this because Sandy Dallenberg was my president, is to raise money for the university, which she said her goal is to get FAMU to R1 status. Don't that require raising money?
A lot of it too.
So we got to raise money. I think it was it $50 million or was it 50 scholarship? I can't remember. It's too much information, but you got to raise them.
You have to produce so many research based graduates every year, and you have to spend so much money per year in research.
Mm-hmm. So these are concerns that we're asking her to do something in her employment that she isn't willing to do now. Right? May not be valid. She may get the job and raise $2 billion. I don't know. I hope if we get to the point where she accepts the job that she does wonderful and we sitting on mountains of cash and got a endowment bigger than Howard. I hope all of that is true. But we ain't there yet. We are here. And contrary to someone's statement that it's being contentious for no reason, we're trying to move forward, you have to. Part of dissent is the needle of moral compass. You can't just rubber stamp stuff because then you end up in a situation where you're accepting gifts that you should never accept. Dissent is a part of the moral compass. That's all I'm saying. And I'm sorry if I'm getting preachy, but I was literally sitting on a Zoom meeting ready to throw my phone on I-95.
I was ready to fight. Fuck a phone.
It was.
Not on.
And again, I was down south. I wasn't even home.
Oh yeah, you was in Miami.
I couldn't even relax. I couldn't even relax. So, I'm gonna say this, and you know, y'all might have different feelings on this. If I wake up and I hear we need y'all help so that the Marching 100 can cover their expenses for this football season, somebody gonna have to see me every Tuesday and Thursday.
Jamal and Troy, y'all know who needs to put their ski mask on? with that Draco.
Perry?
Kristen.
Oh, she
need to channel her inner. She need to channel her inner. Oh, what's a Florida killer?
Let me look real quick before I
In a
say
gator.
Her inner. Her inner. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me say this. When I was much younger, as a younger man, I always loved FAMU DSTs. I did. I ain't gonna lie. And this lady here is one of the reasons why I gotta salute her. Every time I was on the other side, they was always nice to me, and they always stood on business. And this lady is standing on business.
She need to go in there with a full ski mask. Quack quack.
Just go ahead and stand on the table.
Stand on the table.
Stand on top of it.
So, and we just and listen, we feel this way because we see the messages from other HBCUs hollering about why the 100 ain't coming to our school. Ask the board. Matter of fact, don't send a tweet, don't send a DM. Get in your motherfucking car and go to Tallahassee.
Nah, blow up that FAMU email address they got.
Why you not coming? That's why. $200,000 they are trying to squeeze out of the budget that the foundation has earmarked for scholarships. They give $3,000 in scholarships to each of those individuals. That might go away. I don't know if y'all know, but going to college in Florida is not the way it used to be. It can be expensive. And $3,000, whether it's books, whether it's $3,000 on rent, wherever that $3,000, wherever that money go, it is a help. So getting mad because the students are concerned about what's going to happen to them. Now, I don't know who yelled. I just saw messages. I wasn't in there. I don't know who yelled at yelled at them kids or tried to make them seem like they didn't know what they was talking about and trying to talk down to them. That's not your job.
It was Sergeant Bowtie.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't wait to talk to Chris. That's not your job. Deborah was on this show and said, our client, correct me if I'm wrong, our client is the president of the university. Did he not say that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Fuck you talking to the kids for like that.
I don't understand why the faculty don't jump Bowtie every time they see him.
And please understand, every time Bowtie talk, y'all need to understand the only thing I hear is I feel like I should be getting more money and I'm not. Because that's the only thing he said.
And the wild part is he's right. FAMU faculty is underpaid. And I will be the first person to tell you that. He is absolutely right. But the way he went about it and the person that he elected to be president ain't gonna get him more money if she trying to squeeze $750K out of a budget that ain't there. Please make it make sense. As smart as you are, you dumb at the same damn time. You gonna pick somebody with the biggest ass in budget and the smallest experience versus two people. One who is already there saying, hey, I'm negotiable on how much you want to pay me, and the other man that said $350. You mean to tell me we could have had a man with the $200,000 we already get from the state? All we would have had to come with was another $150, and his reason being was, I understand that HBCUs are strapped for cash and low resource, but you want more money.
What a shiesty at,
bro. Exactly.
What a shiesty at?
Where's that?
So
get your shiesty, Jamal. Get your shiesty.
No, I said I was crashing on Twitter today. Like,
get your shiesty.
It's and for all you people that keep hollering about FAMU this and FAMU that, please understand, you need to say the whole fucking sentence. The state of Florida has fucked with FAMU so much that is constantly in a state of flux, not unstable. Constantly in a state of flux. There's a difference. There is a vast difference. Because let's just keep it 100%, right? If anything happened to FAMU, it affects Florida State. Because Florida State has African American students. They have a lot of African American students in their business, international business program. You start taking away the advantage that you have over other universities, it's going to affect you. Because I am literally an example of, you know what? I don't feel comfortable today. Let me go where I feel comfortable at. Because the Black Student Union is cool, but nobody talks about the Black Student Union since the whole anti-DEI stuff. But you know where I feel comfortable at? In the union, watching stories with people who look like me. And for people that's going to say, well, Troy, why you ain't go to FAMU? Because my 800 time was not good enough, so I could not get in. Stop fucking asking me the question. Bastards.
Just give us what should I see that? Because
but again, that's what's happening. And these tirades and these crash outs are because the people who are, if you are educated enough to be on Twitter, if you are educated enough to be on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook, I got some family members on Facebook. But if you on all these other places, Blue Sky and everything else, stop doing that. Stop telling me it's HBCU unity and you saying ignorant stuff every chance you get. And I'm the PWI guy. And quite frankly, it should be more PWI guys from Florida State just as loud as me, just as black as me, saying the same shit as me.
Especially all them football players that done spent time cross track.
We should never, and y'all get mad if you want to. Florida State should never have a recruiting visit that is not on set Friday. If it's not on set Friday, you ain't getting them kids. Period. We just proved it. All them players that they had on campus last week, they signed one. Did you do it on set Friday? No, you didn't. Gee, how does Troy know this? In the 90s, what did Bobby used to do? Send the kids over to FAMU on set Friday. They'd be signed by Friday evening. It is the advantage we had over everybody. But I'm not finna go into the diatribe about that man because it's gonna be other no's that get mad at me because I said I was gonna be cool till the season starts. So I'm gonna be cool. But that being said,
can we be petty like Kendrick, how he did Drake in his beef, in his war, whatever you want to call it? Can we just be petty like that? Like K-Dot?
I got plenty of time to be petty because them boot skins was already on Twitter talking about, oh, Florida State don't want to be in the swamp. What you talking about? That's Ben Hill, Bobby Bowden Field. What you talking about? I'm comfortable. I'm a 90s no. I don't know what you're talking about. We comfortable down there. We're real comfortable. And the 90s no's are very different than them 2018 and on no's. We very different. We ain't, oh, well, it's me, we not winning. No, we I don't know what the problem is. We got to get rid of some people. So again, I get that y'all happy that, we went 2-10 and all of that. But just remember, your grandma was in Tallahassee for homecoming. And you look just like me. Let's move on. We're going to be right back. What I did? So, professionally, get your dollars, dog. Get paid. I want you to get all your money.
Have y'all not been seeing Tom Brady when they don't make the playoff? I mean, when he's not in the Super Bowl, he's commentating the week of, talking.
The numbers go crazy.
Season, he got his hair. Look, I said a long time ago, Tom Brady ain't a football player. That's a model.
That's Mr. Giselle. I mean,
That's
come on,
Mr.
man.
Giselle. And like,
damn, this man is.
he been
What
setting
more?
himself
What more
up.
do he have to do to be a man?
I'm sorry. Let's not do
He
that.
is a
Let's not act
boy,
like
man.
he was. Hold on. Let's not act like he was a little chubby around the waist until he met Giselle. Because when he was with that actress,
What was it?
he wasn't working out like that. He wasn't eating like that. He got with Giselle. He started eating right.
Oh man! So he went winning Super Bowl.
I'm talking about he doing Pilates and shit and plyometrics. He doing all. Come on,
Hey,
man.
look, I would say it like this: Tom Brady made a transformation at some point in his professional career. He went from "I'll have her home by 11" to "She called me daddy too."
Look who it is. Look who it is. Look who it is. I kind of figured you was playing softball.
And we came back for the dub.
Now, here's what's funny. Ash wants to play baseball and soccer only.
Oh, baseball. They giving out phone book numbers for contracts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I ain't mad. That's why I ain't mad. Sir, I don't know. It would be, I know we already passed this subject, but we talked about them possibly raiding the foundation to pay Marva's contract. I would be remiss not to give you your time to talk about it.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say to the individuals that are, they thinking is sweet on the yard, FAMU has been there since 1887 for a reason. They have these undertones and plans that they think they're going to accomplish, but you know that's the reason why the name FAMU is a brand, and it ain't to be played with. It ain't to be toyed with. They're gonna mess around and find out, and that's the sad part about it. All they had to do was pony up and fund the university like they should, but they want to handpick somebody and then pay them more than successful presidents have been paid. So it's really silly, and she has no academic experience. It don't make sense. So I'm in this holding pattern because I want to see how this is gonna play, and we will act accordingly.
I want everybody to know that Marlo is not the reserved conservative guy that he just appeared to be just now.
Man, I just told you it's gonna be mess around and find out season if they start trifling with my university.
Marlo, what is injustice?
I don't even need one. I need them to know who did it. I'm gonna be that one smiling on camera. That's me.
So, we are. Well, let's get to it, right? So we had the super regionals recently, and myself and others made fun of the SEC and their complete other blow up in the regionals. Regional bar is a little bit lower than the super regionals, and then my Florida State Seminoles went out to Corvallis and immediately lost game 1 to Oregon State. Oregon State has a very good team. I ain't taking nothing from them. Florida State has had pitching problems after our starting pitcher. We had pitching problems the whole year long. I don't know how we got this far, to be honest with you. But we got to the Super Regionals, lost game 1, won game 2. Pitching was good because that was the starting pitcher. Pitching was good. Then game 3 happened. I need all them motherfuckers drug tested.
Why?
Didn't they lose to like Crunk High?
Hey, Troy said them boys was back there like when they stole Michael Jordan mojo from Space Jam. Hey, touch the ball, touch the ball, touch the ball.
I promise you, Barry Bonds was 1, 2, and 3 of the hitters. I promise you that's who that was. Because we went from 2-2, I believe it was 2-2. I went and made my sandwich. It was 7-2 with no outs. I said, let me turn this off. I checked ESPN. They had 18 points. 18 points. Why is we playing football games? So
they were pitching slow pitch underhand.
Slow pitch style ball. Yeah.
Slow pitch underhand.
But the I guess if there's a silver lining, I'm making this up as I go along. There will be new teams playing in the College World Series.
I don't think that's a silver lining. The silver lining is they got the brakes beat off of them, and they was out there poking their chests out before the game.
You know what?
The brakes. Hey man, karma is real. Y'all thought, I'm telling you, look at Indiana. Karma real. People thought, oh, it's gonna get swept. They're gonna get this.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
I suggest you kiss my ass quick. I suggest you kiss my.
Don't be like that your whole life, Troy.
Send me those, man, because I need those for my show.
So, oh man, let me real quick. My hard drive died, so it's at data recovery. I'm waiting to hear back next Tuesday, because then I have to download all those episodes, download all those pictures of Ash. Not man, I'm about to have 48 hours of pure hell. But anyway, I got a new laptop. So that happened. And again, that really happened. The NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships are happening right now. Next week, we will actually get into that, but going into the championship, the great sprinter from Florida State, Michael Danzy, will not be competing in the 400. He got injured. He had the fastest time in the nation and was probably going to win the 400 relatively easy, but injury happened, and so next year.
There's nothing easy about winning a 400.
I'm just going based off time. I know it ain't easy. I'm just
it don't happen no more. These kids could have probably been running 45s and 46s all year. But when it comes to NCAAs, them times seems to just creep downward.
No. So, speedy recovery, and hopefully you get back next year. There is this hockey NHL finals going on, and that place in Sunrise is up 2-1. Because
I hope Edmonton smoke there. I hope the Panthers smoke Edmonton.
let me tell you something. At this point,
they beat my Stars and got my coach fired.
Immediately. That's what's supposed to happen when you don't win. Go get to the finals. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to fire your coach. I'm not mad at that. They learn.
I am.
Get to the
Y'all remember
finals.
what Troy just said. Y'all please remember what Troy just said.
Oh
If
my
your
God!
coach gets to the Eastern or the Western Conference Finals
Three
and don't make it to the game,
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, he got to go.
3 years in a row.
He got to
And
go.
remember, we went to the Stanley Cup. What? 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
So why get
Who y'all played in the cup?
The Lightning, wasn't it?
the Lightning? Yeah, it was Tampa Bay.
Oh,
There you go. Come on, man.
It was the second year to back. It was the second year to back to back.
In fact, it was the bubble though too. It was the bubble. It was the bubble Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they won.
And who ended up
Stanley Cup. What'd you say, TP?
And who won?
The Lightning. The Lightning back then had the muscle squad. They had the truck drivers. They was just bullying people. Absolutely bullying people. Which is what's happening with Sunrise right now.
I like him. Now, don't get me wrong. I know they beat my Stars that year, but I do like Stamkos.
We should have let him go that year. We should have let him go.
No. How you gonna let the most valuable player go on your team? Just like you fire your coach that don't get to NBA Finals.
We let him go. We finna really go here. We let him go 2 years too late. We did the whole he's so good he can determine how he gonna end his career. He was not going nowhere.
Even when he left, I don't think they let him go.
If Stamkos, but see, here's the thing: if Stamkos wasn't in that finals with that team, we were gonna beat y'all.
No, I'm saying after that finals, that was the finals. We should have let him go. He wasn't the best player in that finals, by the way. Kucherov was the best player in that finals. Kucherov was a monster. Oh my God! Now we rebuilding, and Sunrise is winning Stanley Cups. The fuck. But anyway, Sunrise, and for those who don't know who Sunrise is, that's the Florida Panthers. They are the better team, even though Edmonton have two of the better players in the league. The complete team is in Sunrise, and it's showing up.
Every shift.
Connor McDavid don't look like Connor McDavid.
Every shift. They better on every shift. You'll beat the team 6-1, and they don't make it look like y'all ain't trying hard.
They got beat so bad, Edmonton started fights.
Hey, y'all! I'm just say this word of thought. Just because black people think hockey looks crazy, don't mean that we don't understand what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
not that hard of a sport to understand.
Let's get it right.
No, I understand it. I just enjoy them fighting. Like they just get to meet at center ice and throw hands.
It's going to be more hands thrown in this series.
And let's get this understanding right here. Black people started hockey in Canada.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Let's get that straight.
I mean, the way I tell, if you understand soccer, you can understand hockey.
Yep.
That's all it is. It ain't nothing but soccer on ice except for less players.
That's it. If you can, and honestly, I didn't understand it for a while until I actually sat down and watched the game. I was like, "Oh, this ain't shit, but soccer. Cool, I got you."
Once you understand the blue lines, that's it. It's easy from that point on.
Yep.
It's easy from that point on. But yeah, no. Listen, just look for the highlights of the last game. Connor McDavid got squished between two Florida Panthers. That started a fight. And Edmonton, I guess, at some point said, "I'm leaving with something."
Oh yeah, you got to scarf. Hey, well, my baby be like, you gotta squabble up. You gotta split. Hey, run me that thing that's in the ice, dog.
Somebody gotta show me some fight.
They did.
It
wasn't between the whistles. It wasn't between the whistles, but they showed some fight.
I would have been on the bench. Hell no. I got to get my kid back.
Now, another thing around sports, I don't know what's going on in Las Vegas. But this is another reason that Tom Brady got to get the fuck away from my teams.
I know what's going on in Vegas.
What's going on in Vegas? Because I'm here.
Now that shit is funny.
That wasn't even meant to be a joke.
No. Honestly, I think they waited too long to make some strategic moves with their roster to get a little bit younger. Um, so now they trying to get younger while hold on to core players, and they don't have the money. Like KB shouldn't be there. That last president that gave her that guaranteed contract, I hope they all happy she fired. But now they don't have the money to go after people. Like they should have been able to keep Deja Kelly. She was a difference maker. They had a space. So, but Becky got to figure it out. Hey, you from the great from the coach pop coaching tree. You got to
Yeah,
figure it out.
Kelsey had to go. That was 100. She had to go.
What?
Kelsey, she had to go.
No, but Kelsey is out. They
Yeah.
played the Sparks last. Well, they didn't have Asia though. Asia was out last night.
Yeah.
They played the Sparks last night and lost. And Rakia Jackson went off for 30.
Rakia Jackson been balling.
Bro,
I mean, that's what happens when you don't have your star player, though.
She got them. No, but even
Kia
Asia
should
was
not
missing.
be there. She should be in Vegas.
Who should be in Vegas, Troy?
Rakia Jackson.
Hey, the trade deadline coming up. What she worth? What they got to offer? Nothing.
They ain't got nothing to
They
offer
have
in the
nothing
trade.
to offer.
We ain't got
They have
nothing to
nothing
offer.
to offer.
We've been
You
too good. We don't have no draft picks.
And what they do, they have no draft picks because they took them all in the investigation. You exactly, which is why the president shouldn't have been giving out guaranteed contracts when you have no draft no draft picks.
I mean, the thing about guaranteed contracts is just making sure that you can secure the players that you really want on your team.
But the person that got a guaranteed contract
Wasn't
has
that
not
good?
gotten better from year to year.
I
She
mean,
does
that's
not swing.
that's a fallacy. Like you bet on the player, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. In this case, it's not panning out.
We went from
Deshaun
back to
Jackson.
back.
Bro, she didn't deserve a guaranteed contract when they gave it to her. That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
hold
She
on.
already wasn't
Whoa.
producing.
I mean,
Mother,
but if they felt like she was worth it to keep on the roster, because we got to remember when she got the contract, they were just coming off a championship, so
Yes.
they were planning on her being an integral part of continuing going to the championship. That was the whole thought process behind it. The whole experiment with Kelsey Plum is eventually what led them to destruction last year. That's what happened. Because we wouldn't even be having this conversation if they were the three-peat.
No. I would be saying this about about KB, not Plume Dog. KB's contract.
I know
Even
you
if they
talking
would,
about.
if they
I know what you're talking about, but I'm
no.
saying,
That's for the
will
people
we
that
be
say.
having this same conversation if they were the three-peated? Kelsey stays, they still playing lights out.
But Kelsey, I have a feeling Kelsey was gonna leave either way.
If they would have won, she'd have still been there.
Okay.
They would have they would have pulled some money out to make sure she stayed.
No, somebody would have had to take a pay cut, but it
Yeah,
has happened before.
somebody else. But
Yeah,
you keep, but you at least keep her as part of your main guys got to be out there. And if she helped them win a championship last year, there's no way they get rid of her.
And I don't know what the hell happened to Jewel Lloyd.
I liked
but it
her
ain't
too.
working.
I liked her. You know what? I'm not.
It's not.
All this sounds good right now in the regular season. When we get to the playoffs, that's when it's gonna be Asia Wilson time, and the role players gonna have to play their role.
If we make it,
bro,
then they gonna get
you
knocked
gotta
out.
make it to the playoffs.
They'll make it to the playoffs.
The way they playing right now,
we have to do some.
We
have to do some amazing stuff.
The Aces are at 500, 4-4 right now. They played my Wings tomorrow night, and we are in a whole freaking rebuild mode with my squad. But
I have no doubt that the Aces will make the playoffs. They will make the playoffs.
I think they will make the playoffs because I think they'll make the playoffs, but it's going to be very interesting in that Western Conference, though.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not wide open. They're not guaranteed to run the table.
No, your team should have never fired their head coach from last year.
That's another thing. That's one thing I said too.
That is where y'all fucked up. They should have never fired Trammell.
And yeah, my whole thing is
wasn't getting it done.
Yeah,
no, but you can't say she wasn't getting it done when 50% of the roster was hurt the whole year.
Yeah.
Hey,
Enrique was hurt.
Sometimes that's just the unfortunate business of being a coach.
It was, but Enrique was hurt. Natasha Howard was out hurt. Then
I understand what you're saying. This is the unfortunate side of coaching is when you don't have your players available and y'all lose, you are still held responsible as a coach. Don't nobody want to hear, right. We had folks hurt. They don't care about that.
But also, you got to realize too, Satu left this season. They felt like they didn't want to pay her. She wanted to be somewhere bigger than as far as like, you know what I'm saying?
She wanted the facilities, and I can't fault her for that.
But that's the thing. The facility, but here's the thing though. The facilities are coming up, like for us, the facilities are coming in play now. So like it's not like it's not being done. It's the facilities are getting done. Like I've seen renditions of the facilities that's supposed to be finished by next year. So when the new season starts, they're gonna get it done. The arena is supposed to be, I think the arena is supposed to be done by if I'm not either mistaken, not this year, but next year. So the thing is, the Wings play in Arlington. They play at University of Texas Arlington College Park Center. It is a nice arena, but it's a college. You know what I'm saying? It's a
college arena. It's not a pro arena. Right.
It's not a pro arena. But let's put it like this: the city of Dallas had already said, "Look, we're going to go ahead fund. We're going to fund you the money. We're going to fund the money to redo the convention center arena. We don't need to have you don't need to have this big monstrosity of arena because it's the WNBA. You just trying to get the core people up in there. If you can get me 8,000 folks up in the arena, you're doing a damn good job.
8 to 12,000, you making a profit,
right? So like instead of the Wings playing at American Airlines Center, where you probably not going to feel half of that arena right there. So have it downtown. It's still going to be downtown. The practice facility is supposed to be West Oak Cliff. In fact, it's literally down the road from where I stay at, where it's being built. So like they're getting all the facilities. Satu just didn't want to wait. And so
she didn't want to wait, and she thought she could make. She thought she deserved the Enrique money, and she didn't.
Right, and then if you seen it last night, of course my Wings lost. They played Phoenix, they played the Sun, but Dejanay and Satu they were about to squabble.
I meant to send that clip and I forgot, but yeah,
they was about to squabble after the game. You watched that. I was like, ooh.
They take them up real quick too. They take them up real quick too.
Ooh.
Shout out to Paige because she had
Paige had a triple double last
that I've seen all year.
Yeah, Paige coming alive.
Paige been balling. I give it to her. She comes out when she comes off the screen. When she come out the pick and roll, it's like that jump shot that she got, butter. You know, of course, she leads the team in scoring, and she leads the team in assists. The girls throw out 6 dimes a game. So,
Paige and Dejanay in the backcourt is dangerous. The Phoenix Mercury can make some real problems in the West, especially because I think they match up well against the Sparks. They match up well against the Aces as far as the guards go, because if they can keep it a fast-paced game and stop Aces from getting in their half-court sets, then they take a lot of you take the game away from Asia Wilson when you force them into their half-court.
Right.
You force them, you take the running out of it, and then now you're running back down the court when you force the bad shot. So I feel like they have a very good matchup with everybody.
With our Wings, it's like, yes, I have Paige running the point. Dejanay is the 2, but she ain't all offensive. Let her play that defense. She can lock somebody down. The person that needs to get it going now, that should get it going is Enrique.
Hey, you know what? No, it ain't just Enrique. It's also what's the name? That y'all got a 6'9" center that averages 2 points a game.
Yeah, she getting cardio.
She don't even get cardio in, bro.
Hold on, real quick, because I just saw the comment late. Jeremiah, let me explain to you something, right? We know very well what baseball runs are. We know very well how scoring happens. However, I take liberty with my comedy. And quite frankly, I was not going to call them runs. They didn't run shit. Them was home runs. They tried it. Them was what we talking about.
Hey, we can see we can get back on that. Let's talk about how Duke got put out by Murray State.
Listen, you will never hear me cry Argentina for Duke. It's not gonna happen.
Them Dookies.
Them Dookies got their ass whipped. And it was a beautiful sight to see. They should stick to science and law school.
Corrugated was HOA.
Man, Corrugated was HOA, got eliminated in regionals. They didn't even make it to supers. I'm sorry. They got eliminated in super regionals. They did make it to super regionals. They got eliminated in super regionals. They got eliminated the game before we did. So, like I told them Bootskin fans, we all own the charter boat to Cancun.
Yep.
So
y'all was sharing the bus. Y'all shared the bus ride.
So
then what they were like, hey, everybody put it in. 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
So, it is what it is. But it is time. It is time for
the disrespect segment.
Uh-oh.
Oh hell.
Who we got? Who we disrespecting tonight?
I went from the highest of highs when Tom Thibodeau got fired. I was on cloud 9. The possibilities of getting a top flight winning coach was right there at our fingertips. But all I keep hearing is Jason Kidd. He ain't won nothing. And he under contract. We ain't got no draft picks. What are we doing?
I wouldn't let you get Jason Kidd either.
What are we doing? There is a championship coach that is unemployed, chilling by the pool, because he ruffled some feathers y'all don't like. Listen, if him ruffling feathers win a championship, I don't care. I got a big old dude that's 7 foot that won't stay on the top of a pick and roll. I got another dude we spent 5 draft picks on. 5. Ain't averaging 25 points a game. I got a bench that I didn't even know I had to the elimination game of the Eastern Conference Finals. I need me a chip. I don't need no Jason Kidd.
Wait a minute. Then y'all give away y'all centerpiece. Y'all center to the team that's eventually in the finals right now.
Yep.
You gave up Hartenstein for a bag of peanuts. It's a juju bean. And she's in the finals right now, averaging damn near a double-double.
Hey, sometimes it's the environment, bro.
Hey, that's diabolical work, bro.
So Hartenstein got injured, right? And so did Mitchell Robinson. But I will still take a combination of Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein over Big Cat any day.
I bet you will.
But we in Minnesota.
You ain't gonna talk about my coach right there. Talking about he ain't won nothing. look, we ain't giving up Jason Kidd.
I don't want him. Jason Kidd should be safe in Dallas. Nobody should be talking about we're gonna poach Jason Kidd. That should not be a discussion. TP.
Didn't he win Dallas the ring?
Yeah,
No.
as a point guard.
As a point guard, yeah.
So
not
he
as a
won
coach.
some.
Not as a coach. Not as a
He
coach.
won nothing as a coach.
Did he go to the finals as a coach in New Jersey?
Hell no.
No, he wasn't.
No.
No, he wasn't no coach in New Jersey.
I'm trying to.
So he was a point guard in New Jersey.
All right, so he
And then
he
came
went to the
back
finals.
as Brooklyn's head coach.
He went to the finals and he took the Nets to the finals as a point guard too.
As a point guard.
Yeah.
So he was a coach in New Jersey, a coach in Milwaukee, and a coach in Dallas. No championships.
No finals appearances.
Except for the one. Last season.
Oh yeah, last season. My bad.
But again, that is yeah. So
Hey, I heard Latrell Sprewell name get thrown out there too.
Hell no. Who he gonna choke?
y'all want to see me choke out somebody? Let them hire Latrell Sprewell. I will be a reporter at the press conference choking out Latrell Sprewell.
Hey, who he gonna choke?
But this is jokes, Latrell. Don't run up on me. I'm an old man. I'm kicking your knees. I'm just telling you that. But no, if we're gonna be serious, the serious conversation has got to be around Mike Malone. That's got to be a serious conversation. You're not getting Ime Udoka. It's not happening. You ain't got no draft picks. There's no draft picks.
He ain't leaving Houston either. TP said he ain't leaving Houston.
Hold on. So
leave my coach alone.
Hold on. So first off, we got way more white women than they got in Houston. We can lure them out.
He is in a happy relationship. You leave that man alone. Satan, stay away.
Hey, you ain't gotta have no white woman. You make it go down the street to the third ward from downtown and be just as happy right there.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Get him a hood chick from Yellowstone.
Nah, he go over there. Right. He'll be all right.
Man, he is not in the hood. Y'all know dang on well he is in the Galleria living his best life.
That's what the Galleria is. I guess
it's in the
hood. But the Galleria is in the hood though.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you go right down. You make 2 turns, you right back in the hood, big dog.
So wait a minute. I'm just willy-nilly walking away from Hotel Derrick, not knowing that I could have got Jay.
You could have got Jack at Hotel Derrick. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You in Houston, bro. Like you
I was just about to say that. You
on the south. In fact, wherever you was at, you was on the south side. If I'm not mistaken.
Listen, my unfortunate problem is I grew up in South St. Pete, so every place looks safe to me.
Yeah, I did the same shit. I was on scooters in Belize riding through the hood. They was like, tourists. I was like, shit, don't get it twisted.
For real.
Don't get it twisted. I'm
damn school.
I'm real comfortable in the hood.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to
get ready.
Wherever you at.
But again, that's what's going on with the major coaching search right now.
You need to go if I'm New York. You can say Mike Malone, but you better see if you can pry away goddamn Rick Carlisle to win the damn finals.
Why would Rick Carlisle go there?
He's the same abrasive coach as Mike Malone. We might as well get the coach that's unemployed. Dude unemployed.
Fuck it. See if Stephen A. Smith want to coach.
Hey, since you know so damn much, that's a good one.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
Y'all don't like me. Y'all don't want to see me happy. It's clear. It's clear. This is all about seeing me crash out week after week. That's what this is.
Y'all fired a 50-game winning coach.
He didn't win the championship.
4 out of 5 years. Just took you
didn't.
to the Eastern
He didn't win.
Conference
He
Finals.
didn't win. Listen, he didn't win the
Y'all are
championship.
not gonna be happy. Y'all aren't gonna be happy.
If
Y'all
we
are
win the
gonna.
championship, we're gonna be happy.
The only way y'all gonna, I'm gonna tell you like this: the only way y'all gonna be happy is James Dolan get ran over by a bus.
That's a different parade. That is a different parade. And as
Real
soon as
bus
he
or
in the
Nerf
ground,
bus?
as soon as he in the ground, we're gonna say our goodbyes. As soon as he in the ground, we're gonna be saying the same thing. We need to get us a coach to win us a championship. It ain't
Waiting
gonna
for
matter.
your owner to die is crazy, by the way.
That is crazy.
Marlo, do you hear
And
this?
apologize.
That is insane. We have two people on this podcast who want their owners dead for the team they root for.
I told you
That's
about my.
crazy.
I
You
told
know
you
what?
about my.
I'm getting about sick and tired of Marlo questioning my fandom.
No,
Speaking
Marlo,
of
there is no question.
of owners that have passed away, Jim Irsay's daughter is now running the team.
I am glad you brought that up.
Boy,
And
did you see that screenshot?
She has decided that she's going to be on the sideline with a headset and a play card so she can have a better grasp of what's going on. I.e., who to blame when y'all get y'all ass whooped by the Texans?
But TP, what they gonna do when she holler, Z right, Y banana? Who the fuck just call that play?
She ain't calling plays.
She's
just listening.
She just listening.
She just listening, but at some point, she gonna feel like, you know what? I know what I'm doing, and she gonna call one. She gonna call one. And first off, if you see the screenshot, she ain't got just headphones. There's a mic on there too.
In a football family for the longest.
That's cool. But you are Jerry Jones ain't even went this far.
Shit.
No, dog. No.
He don't be on the sideline with no headphones.
Look, you be on the sideline, you hear the phone ring, everybody turn around, look at it. Oh shit, Jerry calling.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But look, I wish all the bad things happen to the Colts and only the Colts. All bullshit aside. I hope so. I hope she's standing there and Nico Collins breaks to the outside and just completely clears her. Because why are you on the sideline?
Wow.
I
Wait a minute. Hold on.
They could be on the sideline.
Headset and blonde extensions flying. That's what I want to see.
TP, you know you're going on a 24-hour reel, right? I just want you to know you're going on a 24-hour reel.
I don't care.
I don't listen. They don't have rules against owners putting on headsets. There's no rule against that.
They don't got rules for owners being on the sideline. Jerry Jones used to be notorious bringing his old ass on the sideline.
Let's be honest.
They can be on the sideline. They just can't be involved with the game itself. They can be down there. They own the team. They can be anywhere they want to be. They just cannot. They cannot directly affect the game. They can't talk to refs. They can't be down there talking to the coach. They can't do none of that. But I'm telling you, all it's gonna take is one time for her to walk her happy ass over to the coach and be like, "Why we ain't running this? Why you ain't do that?" And he gonna be like, "Get me the fuck out of here."
You know what? Y'all know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that scene in and what's the movie name? It was Pacino.
You talking about Any Given Sunday?
Any Given Sunday.
This shit is more like semi-pro with Will Ferrell.
Oh
yeah, that motherfucker's the owner, the coach, and the player.
Yep.
And apparently, Daniel Jones is winning the quarterback battle in Indianapolis.
Please, pick me.
I can't wait.
Pick me. Please, pick me.
There you go. Sure.
TP, did you really thought a boot skin was going to be the savior of that franchise? I'm just asking a question.
You asking me?
I wouldn't figure.
He want all of us to
So
fail.
more accurate than Anthony Richardson. Look,
They
I
knew
watched
that
every
man wasn't
game that
accurate
we've
when
ever
they
played
drafted
against the
him.
Colts, and
my
he has the worst accuracy I have ever seen.
They knew
Like,
that man wasn't
and this
accurate,
is
and they
saying a lot.
drafted him.
This
That is
he
the
quit.
worst. He's athletic
quit.
as fuck. It's hard to bring him down. He makes a lot of plays with his legs. I did not like playing him for that simple fact that he was able to make the game ugly. He was able to get out the pocket, and that was causing issues for us. Because when you have an elite pass rush, the worst thing that can happen to you is the quarterback start getting out the pocket, and now your dude's tired. Now your secondary tired because they running around trying to stay with receivers because the D line tired because they can't catch the quarterback. Nobody wants that on defense. Nobody likes that. That's not fun. I had to deal with it. I don't like it. It's not cool. But when it was a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 7 and he had to throw the ball, I was confident we was getting off the field. He was about to sail one into the stands.
And he did every damn time.
And he did.
Every
So
time.
here's the thing: do you create some plays for him? Like, remember how the Raiders did Terrell Pryor?
Terrell Pryor was eventually converted to a wide receiver. I see that for Anthony Richardson.
And
You know, there's been
found
a litany of guys. There's been a litany of guys that have been able to make somewhat of a career after moving on from playing quarterback. You know, you
and we found out that Terrell Pryor was a better receiver than he was as a quarterback.
He was an athlete, though. He was an athlete. We knew he was an athlete. Going in, you knew Terrell Pryor was a special athlete. Anthony Richardson is a special athlete, but he cannot throw the football. He just can't do it. Not at an elite level. Not at the level that you would expect from an NFL quarterback.
The University of Florida has never produced a quarterback that is worth talking about.
I like Chris Leak.
Chris Leak didn't make it to the league.
No,
and that's their best one.
Whoa, time out.
Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl. Don't do that.
Time out.
Rex Grossman.
We know good and damn well that Chris Leak was underdeveloped because of that dumbass coach that they hired.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They handed the reins over to Tim Tebow very fast.
Chris Leak, but TB, and I know you saw it. Even that year they won the championship. They won that on Chris Leak. They would put his big ass out there, and we would be at a 3rd and long. They put Chris Leak out there. He get them. We get down to goddamn scoring range, and here they
come Tebow. Here come 15.
The whole season.
Yeah,
they
I know.
Was so scared that Tebow was going to transfer. They kept bringing that man in.
Rex Grossman, the only Florida quarterback to make it to a Super Bowl as a starter.
He took the
But Troy, here's the thing. Y'all said that Tebow, they were scared that Tebow was going to transfer, but you still had another backup in Cam Newton.
Cam Newton saw the right
let me go ahead and take. Let's
but
go
I'm
ahead
just
and
saying,
tell the story.
what I'm saying is, if Tebow would have transferred, let's just say he transferred somewhere to another team in another conference.
Cam Newton stays and wins the Heisman the next year.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what happens.
That's what happens. He don't get kicked out the team. He doesn't go to Blinn and win the national championship at Blinn Junior College. He doesn't go to Auburn and win the national championship at Auburn. He stays
national championship and Heisman.
And a Heisman. He stays at the University of Florida under Urban Meyer. Let's get this straight. Get it straight. Under Urban Meyer, he wins the national championship and a Heisman at the University.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger. But I don't think Urban Meyer like black quarterbacks.
He does not.
Hold on. Name me the best
at all.
All the best coaches at Florida don't ever like black quarterbacks.
Quarterback there, he's gonna be gone within a year. We saw him the same shit at Ohio State.
Or playing a different position.
All of Florida's best coaches, the ones that won national champions, they never liked black quarterbacks.
Thank you for throwing y'all pagan Saint Bobby Bowden under the bus too.
Hey, Charlie won us out first.
I'm about to say he
But
was.
he didn't like Charlie, and you know it.
Bowden was kind of an outlier though.
Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. If not for Billy Joe showing the world that in order to play elite football, you need to spread the ball across the field and run from the shotgun, Charlie Ward doesn't happen. Because remember, at that time, Charlie Ward was at junior college. When Charlie Ward comes back, Bobby Bowden looks at that offense and says, I got to figure something out. He then goes to Buffalo to learn the K gun. When he comes back, I'm sorry, that was Brad Scott. Brad Scott goes to Buffalo, learns the K gun, comes back. Brad Scott is the proponent for Charlie Ward. He is the one stumping for Charlie Ward. That man won us our first national championship.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that happened. And that's when Bobby got on the bandwagon of, that's when he was head over heels for Xavier Lee, so on and so forth. But
Charlie Ward saw the bullshit that football was for him at that time, and he said, I'm going to go play basketball.
He absolutely did.
Because the love for black quarterbacks was non-existent back then.
Sure wasn't.
And you see how hard it was for him to even get to that point. When coming out of high school, he was a blue chip. Coming out of high school, he was the best quarterback in the state.
He just had.
There's no way he shouldn't have been going to
a quarterback. He was the best quarterback in the state, and he was the best point guard too.
Yeah.
So to address something real quick, he only went to junior college because he had a little academic issue, and it was faster for him to get back on the field to go to Chipola.
Yeah.
It was fast to get back on the field to go to Chipola for like a semester. Was it?
Or was it Okaloosa? It might have been.
It might have been Okaloosa.
I think it was Okaloosa.
To go to junior college and then and then come back. And when he come back, he was immediately eligible. But that was his only hiccup. And then also in that time frame, Chris Winkie was like, I'm gonna get more money to play baseball, and he went off.
Yep.
Right.
So
Chris Winkie saw the writing on the board too.
And then don't forget,
Chris Winkie, a 25-year-old college QB.
Yeah, because he came back after he was never going to elevate to the major leagues, but he had already made his money at that point.
Yeah, he was in the minor leagues. Yeah, you do what you have to do.
Peter Ward couldn't save him his whole career.
No.
I think somebody like, if Tommy Frazier was never in the offense at Nebraska, let's just say he went to Florida State or some shit like that, because he's from Florida.
He was supposed to go to Florida.
Okay.
He was supposed to go to Florida, and that Steve Spurrier asked him if he wanted to play corner.
But he did the same thing that, remember, here's the story. He said the same thing to Steve McNair because Steve McNair played safety and he was a quarterback at Mount Olive High School in Mississippi. Steve McNair had a chance to go to Florida and play quarterback. He said Steve Spurrier told him, we'll switch you to DB because of the athleticism that Steve McNair possessed. The man owned every record in the state of Mississippi in interceptions, returns, and touchdowns. Yep. And he put all his chips and followed his brother over to Alcorn, and the rest was history. And Steve McNair
he still holds every passing record at Alcorn. Still.
Yeah, nobody's breaking that. He still holds passing record. He holds all-purpose record at Alcorn. Nobody touchdowns too. Nobody's breaking that.
No. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and admit maybe I was wrong about the lowly Pacers. Is that Steven? I think that's Stephen Gaither, ain't that?
Yeah, that's Gaither.
So, but I may be wrong. I may be wrong about the lowly Pacers. I may be wrong. They may end up winning a championship. I may be wrong.
Hopefully
But
they get Reggie a ring.
Reggie Miller's story is probably the saddest story in NBA history because he's
It
supposed to
is.
have a ring.
He would have had one that year had they not been fighting in Detroit.
This is the one time that you don't need a crash out on your team.
Pretty much, let alone 3 of them.
Yeah, but the thing with Red, even then, I like what Stack told Reggie on his podcast. Said that
Yeah.
I apologize. We apologize because you should have had a ring that year. They had the team that could go in and beat them Lakers that year. And of course, yes, the Malice in the Palace happens, but guess what? Remember, they still had made the playoffs that season too.
They did.
They did. So, but it was supposed to be that year for them to win the ring. Because to me, if that doesn't happen, then you don't hear. I don't know. Y'all don't beat me up. You don't hear the ascension of LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing wrong with that. But we are watching, and whoever came up with Halliburton, shut that shit down. That's not cute. We are watching the ascension of Tyrese Halliburton. He is becoming a star on the biggest stage right before our eyes.
Y'all said he won the superstar. Knicks fans included.
I said he wasn't a superstar. I said he was a star. I said he wasn't a superstar. But if you keep hitting game-winning shots in big moments, that's what superstars do. Because it's some people that be holding some other people in really, really high esteem that don't be doing that.
You calling names tonight or no?
I already named them.
I ain't trying to derail the podcast. I'm just
I already named them.
So he is becoming a superstar right before our eyes. And I gotta listen.
Best thing
I told y'all them people don't like to lose.
His best thing was to leave out of Sacramento. That was his.
Yeah.
That was his best thing.
I'm about to indict my organization. But the bad management of assets from organizations that have not won in a very long time, in another case has never won, is on display in this playoffs. And anybody that is still employed, involved in those transactions, should be losing their job immediately.
Yeah. We know James Dolan ain't losing his job.
Well, James Dolan wasn't the one making those moves. Like I want to blame James for a lot of stuff. Throwing Charles Oakley out the
He needs to apologize to Oak.
Yeah, that he gets blamed for that.
Oak could have slapped the dog shit.
No. Damn an apology. He got to go one round with Oak. Then bygones will be bygones.
For what? For what? That man said, I am rich. I pay somebody to take that ass woman. Excuse me, my stunt double is here.
Hey, run this fade.
Whoop his ass.
Now I'm gonna say something controversial, and a lot of people ain't gonna like it, and I don't care. Zone defense has ruined basketball.
Oh my God!
Are we talking about Syracuse? Are we talking about Syracuse zone defense, or are we just talking about NBA zone defense?
So I'm talking about NBA.
You're talking about players' ability to sag off of their assignment.
No, I am talking about isolation basketball is essentially gone. You got. I was like, dang, the Indiana Pacers are fast. No, they're not. They're playing zone.
It's called team defense. You ain't say that when the Spurs used it to beat LeBron.
Hold on. I was the one saying we need to get back to no zone defense. No zone defense. Man, listen.
I told Joe on here.
Listen, we are talking about some of the greatest players and the greatest moments do not happen if zone defense is allowed. Do you know Hakeem Olajuwon used to have people isolated in the paint? There's nothing you can do.
Hakeem had shooters too.
Yep,
I realized that too.
So here's the thing, and Boston was able to capitalize off of this last year. You talk about zone defense ruining the ability to play defense, like to run offense. Well, what do you do to a zone? You shoot them out of it, and it worked for them last year. It just didn't work.
It only work if you got shooters. If you don't got shooters, you cook.
And this all started with Stephen Curry pulling up logo threes. This is when it started. Because now every team,
teams started their zone defense way out there at the 3-point line, and your two guards, like if you play in the 2-3 zone, nobody's not sagging towards the basket. They're playing right there at the elbow, and the guards are playing towards the damn half court line.
That was the only way it started.
There are some players.
You have to rotate and send people his way in order to throw off this shot.
There are some players you can't play a zone against. You can't play a zone against Kyrie Irving. You can't play a zone against Steph Curry. Like, it's just some players that you just can't play zone against.
It's like a hybrid when you look at great shooters like that, because you have players that are sagging off. They are waiting to come and pressure him once he goes up for the shot. So it's still technically a zone because they don't respect their man assignments. If you thinking they were in man, no, the defense is focused towards stopping Curry or stopping Kyrie. Because when Kyrie gets you in one-on-one and you ain't got no help, you're getting your ankle.
It's killer. It's
killer. Over with.
But you gotta understand NBA zone, because you can only if you the 5-man, you can only be in the paint for 3 seconds and that's it. You gotta put yourself out. It's different from playing a college zone, because the one that's made famous is goddamn that 2-3 zone defense from Syracuse that Jim Boeheim been using for like the last 40 years. So what is basically he's looking to trap. If you get deep into the paint, if you get deep into that area, you get towards the elbow, he's looking to trap you as a ball. He's not looking to just sag off. He's looking to trap. That way, because that creates his turnovers to where it generates the offense. But like you said, if you got shooters, you can kill somebody. You can kill them out of the zone regardless. Like, to me, if you're gonna play a zone, my best bet is to play the 1-3-1 zone and just have your center.
About to say 1-3-1.
Yeah, have your center just your center and your four-man just kind of rotate in and out of the paint, because you can't stay in there for too long. But the
intelligence level of NBA players, you can't run a 1-3-1. You'll get backdoored into fucking submission. You cannot do it. Well, everybody can pass the ball on the NBA court. Everybody.
And he gonna get beaten from one of them sides.
Yeah. My other question is, because I coached Little League for a long time, and you mean to tell me in the NBA Finals, an NBA team can't run a press break? I need to understand that.
That's because you're asking them to pass the ball.
Like, what is the question though? Because everybody on OKC ain't shooting a 3, so you can run a zone, because then that person that can't shoot the 3, that's the one you can sag off of until he bags into the
But I'm talking about a full court press. I'm talking about a full court press. I am looking at 2 teams with a point guard and shooting guard who can handle the ball, and maybe even a 3, who are struggling against the press.
So
I don't.
what was the knock on? I got a question. I got something to ask y'all. What was the knock on those Patino Kentucky teams when they played defense? They was
What damn defense?
They played 3-quarter press.
They played 3-quarter press, but they couldn't handle the 3-quarter press.
Thank you.
Again, I just said it. What damn defense?
They won a lot of games strictly on trapping players at the half court line and forcing either a bad pass or a jump ball.
What was the thing about Jared Tarkanian when he had the UNLV team? It was not the offense. It was the defense. It was
okay, hold on.
It was.
I'm a Jared Tarkanian.
I read his book. It was the
amoeba zone defense.
Right.
Was what used to mess people up. Then they played Duke the second time, and Duke lit that shit up from the outside.
Duke was supposed to do what it was when they played them the second time. Yeah. But the first time they could not figure out that zone defense because you got a player like Stacey Augman that's playing straight up passing lane. Plus, he could body your 1, your 2, your 3, and maybe your 4. You had a person like Larry Johnson who was big and strong, but he was fast as hell, and he had the intellect when it came to playing defense because he knew, like, look, if me and Stacey get right here, we trap this dude right here. Hey, Anderson, you go out. Greg, you go out. And the last person that's trailing is the big man because he's gonna get the ball regardless. So
and if you go back and look at the old Duke teams, Coach K had them running half court traps and setting into man defense, man up. And right. That was like kind of the thing in the ACC. North Carolina played like that. South Carolina played like that. I mean, not South Carolina. Okay.
Clemson men play like that.
Clemson, they all ran that same half court trap into a man defense. So when they went out there and had to try to figure out a zone, they wasn't ready for it because that ain't what they were used to going against. You can look at a scouting report, but then once you get on the court, and it's like, man, these dudes are just like we can't get no penetration because every time we break inside, we double. So we have to shoot the ball, and they wasn't ready. They that wasn't the game plan, and that's why they lost.
Do we realize that had it not been for the mob, if the mob wasn't in the way, we would have never heard of Pat Riley?
Now, why the hell you got what?
Jared Tarkanian was supposed to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
The mob said no. They wanted him in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because they knew they would win him money.
You didn't know that?
He was the show in Las Vegas. That man was king of Las Vegas. As long as he had the mob right behind him, he was the king of Las Vegas. That's the reason why his manager
left this earth long before he did.
Right. Damn. And then remember when he got fired from UNLV and went to Fresno State, a lot of folks in Vegas was pissed about that because they was like, why he's going to coach in the same league that we in, because that's when UNLV went to the Western Athletic Conference.
Yeah.
And the WAC conference.
They don't even play football no more. They don't even play D1 football no more. It's just crazy.
The WAC changed over to the United Athletic Conference.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh man. Well, we had real big show. Touched on a lot of things. Definitely touched on a lot of things. We are here Tuesday. I reached out to SID Driscoll about getting one of the assistant athletic directors on to discuss the house settlement, which is important. And with everything going on, we kind of want to get an idea of where FAMU is going. And I'm going to eventually get to every coach in this, every athletic department in the SWAC and talk about the house settlement. So again, I'm going to reach back out to them. Hopefully everything's calmed down. They also this week just got back from, is it NAC? I think it's NCADA. I think that's how you say it. They just got back from that this week, so that may also have delayed some responses. So hopefully next week we can get one of the assistant athletic directors on, and we can talk about the house settlement, because the world has changed. The world has changed, and it is what it is. But
breaking news:
What?
Antonio Brown is wanted for attempted murder.
What?
I want to be surprised, but I'm not. It's Antonio Brown.
Is it from that fight that he had?
I'm not. I don't have any
No,
other
it
details
can't be
besides
from
the
that.
fact the Dade County Police have a warrant for his arrest for attempted murder.
No, it can't be for that, because them dudes jumped him and lost.
I see it right now. I see it now.
That man's brain need to be turned over to science when it's all said and done. Because I feel like we watching CTE with that dude.
We watched the deterioration of Antonio
Brown. Like, literally, we're watching it. Dang, that's crazy.
attempted murder with a firearm. So he either shot at or shot somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
You cooked, my boy.
Yeah, he is.
You cooked.
Most definitely. Especially in Florida, depending on the circumstances, 10-20 life.
Yep.
You get 5 years per bullet that exited your weapon.
He got 10.
It's 10 per bullet?
It's 10 for shooting the gun, 20 if somebody gets injured.
No, so wait, you have to attach to during the commission of a felony to it. So if he was fighting somebody and he pulls a gun and shoots him, then 10-20 life.
Yep.
Attaches to it. If you just shoot somebody, then they could just hit you with murder or aggravated assault or whatever it is. Like, you have to attach during the commission of a felony to it.
But usually what they do is they'll just sentence with concurrent, and whatever the highest is, that's what he'll say.
Whatever the highest is. Yep. Hell, I had a cousin rob the store with a toy gun, and because they believed the gun was real, 10-20 life attached because it was during the robbery commission of a felony.
My cousin right now, he's over at Huntsville unit on a second degree murder charge, but he got 37. He'd already served. I think he already served 15 of it.
Dang. Parole at 20?
Yeah, you know how Texas do. But yeah,
you know how you start doing 37. Yeah.
And here's the thing, though. My cousin was Donald Driver's quarterback at Alcorn.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
these decisions.
For real.
I'm sorry to derail the podcast. I just seen that. I had to.
Oh no, that was a good pick. That was a good pickup. That was a good pickup.
So more information to come on the Antonio Brown situation is still developing. We have the only thing we know is a firearm was discharged and he has a warrant for his arrest. So more to come.
Well, we will definitely check that out. Again, I want to thank the 95 in the building. Definitely appreciate it. It was a crazy week this week because I was bidding on the contract. I thought I was gonna get me a haircut in Miami, and in the barbershop I went to, they was pushing people foreheads back. My forehead already big. I don't need no help. So I just decided, you know what?
They was pushing folks' forehead back like Stephen A. Smith.
Pretty much. Yeah, nah. I don't need no 6 head. I'm straight. But again, for everybody that was here on Tuesday, I didn't see a lot of comments. So I'm going back through the reels and stuff, and anything that I need to address, I'll address. There has been a lot going on with me. FatMouthSports.net. You will start seeing tomorrow updated content. It's just a lot been going on. I had a big proposal that I needed to get ready for. So you will start seeing content updated. I did get all 7 of the projects. God is a wonderful God. And also be very specific in your prayers. I asked for a win, he gave me 7. He gives in abundance. I'll figure it out. Also, earlier today on Twitter, I made an assertion that blonde haired lady can't dance. My bad. After discussions in her mind, she can dance. So apparently I was wrong. But seriously, um, I've been going through a lot of stuff with my health, and I've been doing a lot of laughing. So I noticed that there are a lot of people that are going through grief. My father passed away in 2016, and Father's Day is coming up. And I tell my kids a lot about the person he was and everything, but what a lot of people don't really know about my dad is every trauma was addressed and gone through by laughter. You can laugh your way through the tears. So a lot of times when I'm on this show, I might be going through something, but other people may need a laugh. So I'm going to always give you the news, the truth, and a laugh. Lead with love. That's the only thing I know. So if you are struggling with loss, struggling with grief, just lost a loved one, remember their good times. Remember the stories that people told about their childhood, the things that you didn't know about them that are joys to you. Those are the memories to hold on to, because those people haven't left you, because you still have those memories. Again, lead with love. My name is Troy White. You guys have a great week. Oh man, not a button don't work. TP, Mr. New Real Man, what you got for us this week?
The Cincinnati Bengals in their first round draft pick have yet to reach an agreement. Matter of fact, the Bengals have yet to reach an agreement with a guy that they said, hey, we will revisit your contract after we see your performance in the next season. And he only went off and led the NFL in sacks. And he still doesn't have a contract. One time, kind of make you scratch your head. 2 times shows a pattern. And the Bengals are showing a pattern right now that they don't want to give players what they deserve. Samar Stewart isn't asking for anything any other first rounder hasn't received. The verbiage that they tried to hide in his contract, where the remainder of his contract can be voided, guaranteed money voided, just shows that they think that they are big bullies. And now he's not at the facility. He's not practicing with his team. He's not getting the much needed reps that he should be getting right now. And there he has the option where he can sit out the entire season and re-enter the draft next year. I don't know what that's going to do for his draft stock, if he would still be a first-round pick. But this is more on Cincinnati than it is on the player. And I've seen a lot of people saying that, oh, he ain't done nothing. He just signed his contract. Who does he think he is? First of all, he's not asking for any more money than what any other first rounder is getting. The NFL made it very easy for teams to sign their first round draft picks. There is a cap. They can only sign them up to a certain amount. There is no negotiation as far as how much and how long. The only thing that they have an issue right now with is the verbiage within the contract. Cincinnati had no problem giving Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, these big contracts. Somewhere in there, you got to pay your defense, because you just seen Jermaine Pratt leave, Hendrickson not signed, first round pick not in training camp. I don't see a good season for Cincinnati coming up. I think that this is gonna be something that lingers into preseason if they're not able to get a deal done. But they just have to come back down off their high horse, sign their first round pick, and get back to football. And while you at it, get Trey Hendrickson signed so he can be on the field too. But this is the Bengals being the Bengals, so I wouldn't expect anything less. But that's my time. I will see y'all next week. You muted, Troy.
My bad. Just got a message from Danny that her grandmother is currently going through a health issue. So we're going to keep her in our prayers. We here. If you need to talk, you need to laugh, we here. Anything you need from us, we here. Doc, what you got for us this week, sir?
Of course, it's this weekend again. This Sunday is Father's Day. Yes, I am a father to not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 of them things.
Nice.
Right? But 2 of them are mine biologically. The other 4 are with my missus right here. And I treat all the kids the same according to their personality. So my thing is, my father passed away when I was 9. That was in 1989. I'm 45 years old. It's been 35, close to 36 years where I haven't had my father in life. It hurts sometimes, but at the end of the day, I see him smiling. I carry on his namesake because I am named after my daddy. I damn near have kind of like the same mannerisms as him. I had the same. Why you gonna kill me? I had the same asshole mouth and facial features as my daddy. But at the end of the day, I am a spitting image of that man right there, and I'm glad that him and my mom have unprotected sex to have me. But other than that, man, this is what I want to say. Women, it is, if the man is a father, it is their day. Let them have their day. And understand that some women do play both roles. My wife included, she played both roles as mother and father. At the same time, if that man is in that child's life, y'all not together, let him have that day. That is his day. You know what I'm saying? And it's his day to be appreciated. And it's not to be appreciated by spouse or ex-spouse, it's to be appreciated by the kids. Because the kids are the ones that they, that bring the joy to our faces. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, let them have their day on Sunday, and then y'all could go back to being some could be bitter, some could be malevolent and everything else. But let them have their day. This is their day to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? This is just their day to hold. Other than that, back on my old schedule. So y'all know after this, I got a chunk deuce, head to work. And pretty much, that's pretty much about it. Talk more about the house settlement. I think I want to do what you said, Troy. I'm gonna see, put out a flyer, put out a filler on Twitter. Who AD want to come on there and talk about the house settlement? Any and all comers need to come on up. But other than that, hey, y'all be safe. be kind, hug your loved ones, love on your loved ones, beat your kids out the penitentiary, crash out on your kids, because it helps. I'm gonna be like Jamal, Donald Trump's a bitch. And for those Hispanics who decided to vote for MAGA man Trump and now getting the brunt of what he's been talking about for the last year or two or so, guess what? I'm minding my black ass business over here. And last but not least, Kendrick Lamar is in Toronto right now doing his Grand National tour in Toronto and giving Drake the biggest middle finger right now, because he sold out the Rogers Center that Drake can't even do his own damn country in his own damn city. But that's my time. I'm Doc Holiday. Be easy.
Man,
That man petty. That man is petty.
Say Drake.
Well, this, every week I do this. This is a risk. Every week I do this, and he needs no introduction, but it's only right to give him one, because it is no telling what is going to be said. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, Marlo, what do you have for us this week?
Hey, people. I'm sitting here, and Doc brought up Father's Day this weekend, and brought up the women that had to be mama and daddy because some dude didn't want to be. It ain't your day. It is not your day. You are mama. So Mother's Day was your day. I don't want you in there talking about you want to go out to eat too. Your kids need to do. This ain't your time. So to all the fathers out there, and fathers wear many, many, many hats. Like we are priest, provider, protector, mechanic, bug getter. Like we wear so many hats. Take some time to enjoy yourself on this Father's Day. Even if you don't think that people see what you do, no, they do, because you matter more than what you could possibly understand. It's bigger than us. Stay being dads. Stay being involved. Just stay being present. And I think that the fathers that lead that way always produce good fruit. So I got 4 kids that have graduated college. 1 more to go. And yes, they went to FAMU. So as a father, it was my responsibility to make sure they don't make bad and wrong decisions. Like even thinking about going to that school in Daytona. I had to assure that my lineage would be one of success. So I have a son that graduated with a math and physics degree. I got a son that graduated with a computer information technology degree. I have a daughter that graduated with a secondary education degree, and I have another son that graduated with AA in engineering, working on this cybersecurity stuff. So yeah, I'm proud of being a father and present and helping them steer the ship so they won't make a life-altering decision by thinking about going to that school in Daytona. But that's big ups to y'all. every dad that made that decision, y'all are awesome. And don't give your kids options. Like if you give them an option to go to school or not go to school, a lot of times they steer away from where you're trying to lead them. So if it's optionless and they don't have a choice, you ain't got to worry about it. They know what to do when it's time to get there. So I'm with Doc. Beat your kids out the penitentiary. You can crash out on them too. And definitely don't let their ass go to that school in Daytona. My God, don't do that. That's my time, y'all.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus. Hey,
Why you gotta put that shit up there?
I'll tell my kids don't come to that school.
I was taking like I only was gonna put it up there for like 1 second, and then you went in again. So I had to again, shout out to the schools and the SWAC that allow us to come to their events.
Thank you.
We here at FAMU Sports appreciate every opportunity that we are given. And I'm gonna end it there.
Thank you.
Daytona.
Jamal, sir,
Yo,
you have the floor.
hey, I'm not even gonna say nothing bad this time. Last week I spoke about mental health. I'm much better this week. This week work still beat my ass, but work is work. I guess I'm still good at it. They want me to come in and cover a shift that's not even mine in the morning. Whoop de doo. Um, but we gonna keep it in the vein of Father's Day. My parents were married for 47 years. No, 44 years. Before my mother passed in 2013, I was 22 years old. Fortunately, I still have my dad here, but he ain't in the best of health. He's an old man. Like a lot of our dads are that are still here. Um, I'm gonna put out a disclaimer to everybody that's listening. If your dad is still working and he is about to retire, do not allow him to go home and sit down and do nothing. That tends to be the beginning of the end for a lot of black men, especially when they have physical jobs. They gotta stay up. They gotta keep moving, or health will come crashing down. Um, for and depression, because he once he finally retired, he was in the house alone. A lot of the times because my mother was already gone. So go by there and check on him, keep him in good spirits, get him out the house. You sometimes men don't listen when you tell them stuff. So when you have to show them that it's still a lot of life to live, and life is still worth living. Um, so right now my dad is in a rehab facility because of some severe health issues, and that's kind of where I was leaving today when I jumped in early and I was driving. But I'm happy he's still here. My dad accepts me for who I am fully. Um, he's never been ashamed of who I am, and because of that, I've been able to succeed in life. I've been able to go places and live out loud and be myself because I knew that the two opinions that mattered the most in this world did not care. They loved me. They loved me as their son, and with that, I could conquer anything. Nobody can beat my ass because my mom and my daddy love me. Um, and honestly, that's all I got. I'm gonna go break him out of his rehab facility on Friday. We'll probably go to Five Guys because that's his favorite restaurant, and we're gonna do a little hanging out. And people told me last time I had him out too long. He had to be back by 12 o'clock. But oh well, he come back when I bring him back. You can't tell me when to bring my daddy back. What the hell? But as always, slap a Nazi, fuck Donald Trump, crash out when people got you fucked up. I am Lord Jamal, and please don't buy y'all daddies no socks and ties on Sunday. Get them something they want.
Big fact.
Hey, yo. What
I
was
want
it?
a Florida State Yeti to match my cooler. That's all I'm asking. I have wonderful children. My
I
children
don't
are
want shit.
awesome.
I don't want shit. I just want peace. They give me that. I'm winning.
You, you know what? Nope, not gonna do that. I already got enough trouble. I got enough trouble today. I got enough trouble today. Real quick before we go. Jamal, I'm with you. That's my mama. I bring her back when I feel like it. That
Exactly.
facility is open 24/7. If I decide to leave and come back the next
back
day,
at 12. What? You get back at 12? We'll bring it back when you're ready to come. Y'all chill out.
For real.
That being said, y'all, I want to thank the 99 in the building for coming out. I know we ran a little bit over as we always do, but from everybody here at Fat Mouth Sports, Doc Holiday, HBCU Overdrive, Marlo, Lord Jamal, TP, and Danny. DK is not on here on Thursdays, but DK also from Tuesday night. Want to thank everybody for watching. We are out.
Peace. Donald Trump cheated.
The new laptop.